To the millions and millions of hustlers around the world and those that aspire to be. Say this is the young King Whidbee. And the man next to me, that's the homie Jay Betts, the myth, the legend. And this is Life and Hustle. Cheers.
Cheers.
What's up, bro? What you been up to?
Man, just hustling. Same
Yeah,
old thing. I'm trying to get
most
it.
thing. Exactly. Gotta live that dream you want to live.
Man, you got to get to it just to get to it. You know what I mean?
Let me
How
ask
you
you a
doing?
question.
What's up?
So we all hustle, we all have a reason. But what was that moment that made you say, I'm gonna hustle? That moment
Mm,
that made you say, this is the life that I want.
um, shit. Thinking about it, shit. I think it was the time that shit. I just decided I didn't have nothing and started thinking about life and what I wanted, seeing kind of too, seeing other people having things, you know what I'm saying, and analyzing my life that I didn't have much, or
Right.
just showed that I didn't have much because you know what I'm saying how they what they had, and going back to episode one, was just like you know what I'm saying when I started doing the candy van stuff and just started making a little bit of money, it
Right.
kind of opened my eyes to show like I got to do something, you know what I'm saying, to get some money. So um, yeah, I think it was probably when I was like maybe like 15, 16, and I decided it was like I remember one time I was walking and I was just seeing people houses and things, and then I asked myself like, am I ever gonna get something?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Am I ever gonna be able to own a house? You know what I'm saying? Do whatever you feel me? And from that point on, it was like, shit, I'm gonna have to get to it. I'm gonna have to do something because nobody's gonna give me nothing. You know what I'm saying?
Gotta
Nobody gonna give
be
me no house. Nobody gonna give me a car. So at that time, I was just like, fuck it. It just clicked in my head. So I gotta do something to get something.
right.
What about you?
Like for me, I would say, yeah, looking at the drug dealers, looking at the kingpins, the people that had money, I was like, yeah, I want the money. But for me, it wasn't always about, I want to get this to be flashy, to be on the block with a foreign or this lab one like the flyest drip. It was always about I didn't have a family growing up, but I had a family. So I always wanted my own family. So I knew like I always say stepping stones. So I knew I had to do this to get to the next point, from that point get to the next point. So it was always like I always say that I wanted the Cosby life, but I had the street life and I had to figure out how I was gonna get the Cosby life. So that's I
Yeah.
guess that's why I was hustling for that to like I say, to check that goal, live that dream.
No facts. Like imagery plays a part in what you want. But
Exactly.
what things did you see contribute to the pursuit and to have that better life though?
I would say, like I always go back to the drug dealers had the money, but then when I wanted to escape my reality, I would go over to my uncle's house, and to me, my uncle was my role model, and he was middle class, and he lived a good life. He drove city buses, he was in the army, and it was like if he's living good and he don't have to sacrifice his life, that's what I want. He had a family. That's what I wanted. I wanted a family. So I would say like I was like grinding for that perception of life. I wanted to
Hmm.
be, the husband. I wanted a wife. I wanted the kids. I want to wake up in this, a house full of noise. That's what I wanted. I didn't just want, oh, I have the money and I'm just smashing randoms because a lot of those people that I grew up with, they don't have nothing now. So it's like, you had to pick and choose which direction you wanted to go. But what about you?
Um, well, the imagery part is like, man, I had an uncle. He from Oakland.
Yeah.
Shout out to my uncle Norman and shit. And man, he worked like you know what I'm
Mhm.
saying. He worked his ass off, and every time we seen him, he always tell us like, "Oh man, I did this like you know what I mean this many hours like." And he don't really have a lot. You feel me? And I was just looking at that shit, and I was like, "Nigga, I'm not trying to work hella fucking hard all my life to have the bare minimum." You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Just the satisfactory like shit, like you know what I'm saying. So I was like, but then I seen people that did work hard, but
Yeah,
or you know what I'm saying, whatever took risks and shit, and they had abundance. So I was like, yo, like, and they didn't just do one thing. So I was like, yo, like,
yeah,
I don't want to just be working no job. You feel me? Like, I gotta do more. You feel me? So
exactly,
it took me just like, shit, fuck that shit. I'm gonna go ahead and do this, whatever I can to get it. You know what I'm saying? So
exactly.
it just took me to see that to be like, nah, this ain't this ain't enough.
You're
You
right,
know what I'm
exactly. You
saying?
know what's funny? The fact that you say that you seen people that was getting it, and the one thing I always go back to when my uncle was when I went to boot camp, he was like connection, networking, and it seems like those that have it, they're satisfied with what they have instead of saying no, I want more. And
Yeah.
it's only until they lose it till they say, man, I blew it. I should have been working harder. I should have been doing that. And I feel like that's another thing that plays a major role in my life is because no matter what, even though I'm from New York, I'm gonna be moving. Like I gotta know. Like I say, I gotta know where the money is. I know what I want, and I have to go out there and get it. You know?
And for like just to piggyback what you said with the connections, but then too, you got a number of things you're good at. You don't just rely on one thing. Like, you know what I'm saying? You got
Hmm.
hella hustles, but and you could rely on one because you got one that does lucrative, but then you got one, two, three, four, five that do
Yeah,
lucrative. So you can be able to move, you can be able to, you know what I'm saying, provide and be able to have something for yourself for later. You know what I'm saying? So I think that
right.
too plays a part because people just rely on one thing, like you said, and then they lose that shit.
Yeah,
They ain't got nothing, and it didn't mean
nothing.
nothing as much as you did for that one thing. Because now, shit, now you living the rest of your days broke as hell and hungry and borrowing and begging and shit.
Exactly. Okay, so let me ask you another question. When does the lives that you mimic stop and you start living your life how you see fit? Like when do you put the pieces of the puzzle together and say this is what I want for myself?
Uh, when you find yourself, first of all, when you find yourself, then that means you can stop comparing yourself to what other people are doing. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? So, for instance, it took me to really know what when I started finding myself, it took me to know who I am first,
Right.
what I'm good at, and then it took me, what do I really want? You know what I'm saying? So because at the end of the day, we all compare ourselves to other people, what they got, how long it took them to get it, or how short it took them to get it. Some people be like, well, shit, this nigga's 21 and he driving in a Benz, and I'm a fucking, you know what I'm saying, older, or he could be younger, and they figure that they should be having that because of, you know what I'm saying, somebody else's journey. And when it took me to know what I wanted, and what I wanted was, you know, similar to you. I wanted a family. I wanted I wanted I wanted I wanted a place, but something I can own where nobody could put me out because I was homeless before.
Yeah.
So I wanted something that like a home, something like homeless proof type shit, and something
Exactly.
I can give to my kids, like, you know what I'm saying, so they don't have to kind of go through the same thing that I wanted. I mean, I did, you know
Yeah.
what I'm saying. So uh, to stop mimicking is to stop comparing, and then to know yourself is what you're gonna be able to do. To navigate what you really want. So I'll
Right.
say once a person, and it doesn't really matter what age, because everybody's journey is different. But once you get to the maturity level of knowing yourself, then you can know what you want and start that journey to just start the process to go into the avenues to get there.
Right.
What
I
about
feel
you?
you. For me, it took a while because coming from New York, we don't have no OGs, so we don't have nobody like teaching us games. So we just running wild. So then after I left for the Marine Corps, I still had that same mentality where you come out your face, I'm gonna put you in your place. So I had to keep navigating that. So it's like I left because I wanted a better life, I wanted the money, but I was still doing the street stuff. But then in the Marine Corps, it's like they say you're young, you're in shape, you got money, you
Mm-hmm.
can have any woman you want. So all we focus on is basically smashing, drinking, and fighting. And I always tell people now, if I had the mindset that I have now, or if I had a role model that was teaching me in the Marine Corps, I would have been a millionaire by now. But it's like I was still lost. I still had to find myself. Yeah, it was always you need a nice car, you need the money, you need to look good. But then I'll say the moment that changed for me where I was like, I don't want to look like the other person. I don't want to sound like the other person. I just want to be me. I would say it had to be with my ex-wife, is because I gave her everything, and she kept comparing our life to basically Kim and Kanye, and I was like, see, here you are trying to be a Slizzo, and you tell saying that I'm Kanye because I have all these avenues and like I keep fixing you up, but it's like it wasn't making me happy. It was like I gave her the life that she wanted, but like how you said, I guess I didn't love myself at the time. I didn't know who I was, so I had to figure that out. And then once I figured out who I was like, no, this is what I am. This is what I'm about. This is what I'm going to do. These are the people I want around me, and the life that basically perception of the life that they give you in the ghettos, like get the money, get the house, get the women. I didn't want that because it's like I was getting in foreign cars I couldn't even fit. I was buying clothes that I would wear one time, or I didn't like how it fit me, and I just leave it in the closet. Like even right now, my girl gets mad because I'll buy something and I don't like it, and I'll just leave it there. She say return it. I'm like, I'm growing up. If you return something, that means you couldn't afford it. You know, that was that
Yeah.
mindset. So it's like I had to change. I was like, I got to do what's comfortable for me, what's good for me. And at that point, after I was done with my ex, I was like, I'm living for me. I don't want to be like nobody. I don't want to sound like nobody. I want to live life. And like I always say, a lot of these people, it's just a scam. They haven't lived life, and I'm living life. You know.
Yeah. I like that you said that. The loving yourself, and one thing when with the finding yourself and is loving yourself,
Hmm.
and that means no surrender, no retreat. You can't compromise for other people because you're never going to get what you want. And
Right.
for anybody in the hustles that's watching, um, selfishness does play, you know what I'm saying, a big role in this hustle, in this life, you know what I'm saying, or whatever, because you never gonna, you know what I'm saying, because I can relate. I done did shit for, you know what I'm saying, my ex and shit like that. And when I'm doing all these things for them, it's taken away from me. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Right.
So I can't really get to the life I want to because I'm giving the life that I want them to have. You know what I'm saying? And I
Exactly.
can't. It's just like they say, you can't pour into somebody else if you don't have nothing to pour into. So let me get my cup full, then
Hmm.
and then I can pour into somebody else. So yeah, you definitely got to be able to no compromising. You got to be able to do your thing. And if you are compromising with your spouse or something, they have to be kind of on your level, like, you know what I'm saying, and
Right.
see your vision so they can be able, so they'll see like you're compromising for me, but I'm compromising for you because I want you to just, you know what I'm saying, to be happy and to fulfill your goals. So yeah, that
Exactly.
definitely comes in a the process of knowing yourself and loving yourself.
Yeah. So life and the hustle are two things you have to figure out in order to level up. What happens if you never figure those things out?
um I believe, I mean, shit, unless you get, you know what I'm saying, unless you die, I believe everybody's gonna figure it out. It just sometimes it's gonna be the lesson that you figure it out is gonna be hard than a motherfucker. Like,
Right.
cause depending on what your hustle is or what you're doing, you know what I'm saying, not knocking anybody, but sometimes that jail, that betrayal, that, you know what I'm saying, that gaining it all, then losing it all, that
Hmm.
shit is gonna be the lesson. You know what I'm saying? So you're gonna see that you're gonna have to separate the two, and that there is a separation. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you got your life. Everybody got their life. You got to work. You got to, you know what I'm saying? But depending on what your hustle is, um, yeah, it's gonna show you some things. You know what I'm saying? So I
Exactly.
think that eventually anybody that everybody is gonna eventually come to that point where they're gonna see it. Just sometimes for some people it's gonna be sooner than later or later than sooner. You know what I mean?
Right. I hear you. I
What you
feel
think?
like I feel like if you can figure out one, but you also have to be able to somewhere in the middle with the second one. But if you never figure it out, I feel like the ones that love you, because like along the journey, you're gonna meet people that love you and care for
Mm-hmm.
you, and those are the people that get hurt. Like, yeah, you can go to jail, yeah, you'll die, but at the end of the day, you leaving all these people behind that believe in you and that rooting for you. And I feel like you owe them something. If somebody believes in you and they not asking you for nothing, they like, you can make it. I know you can make it because I see you making it. you gotta think like what do they see in me that I don't see, and it's just sometimes people get sidetracked because they're focused. Like I say, they just focus on the glitz and glamour, but they don't understand there's a big picture of things. And I always say that if you're living life, we all hustle for a better life. You're not in the ghetto saying I want to be here the rest of my life. Yeah, there's some people that say I'm born here, I'm gonna die here, but there's a majority of the people they saying they're trying to leave or they trying to fix that place up. And if you get in a position where you're able to leave, or you get in a position where you're able to fix up where you're from, nobody wants to see you fail. Everybody's rooting for you because you're their motivation. And some people need to understand you got to figure it out because time is something we can't get back. Time is something that doesn't care who you are, what family you was born into, how much money you got. We all on borrowed time, and life and the hustle. That's two things you need to figure out no matter what. That's how I feel. That's my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you, and then I have one little small part I
Okay.
disagree. Is yeah, some people gonna be rooting for you, and some
Mhm.
people gonna take their time and be like, yeah, I see you, I see, you know what I'm saying. And
Yeah.
it's not saying that they don't, but everybody that's rooting for you ain't for you. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because some motherfuckers see you, they see you, that nigga. You know what I'm saying? They see
Yeah.
you good, they see, you know what I'm saying,
Oh,
but they just waiting for your ass to get there so they could be like, man, you know, I was there from the beginning. You know what I mean? You
yeah.
feel me? And act like they
Mhm.
that you owe them type shit. So
No,
you know
I'm,
what I'm
I'm not talking about those people. Though I'm
saying?
talking about
Yeah.
the ones where you up late at night, like, I don't know what to do. You crying, and you text somebody, and they be like, they respond back, "You okay?" And they're there for you.
Oh yeah,
The
yeah,
ones
yeah,
that's
yeah, yeah.
encouraging you, not the ones that's like, "Yeah, I remember when you had to borrow $60 for the studio, but I
Mhm.
was there. I was part of the journey." Like, no, you don't need to be telling me that. I know what who it is.
Facts. But sometimes that's what I mean too. Is like that's part of the figuring it out, the life and the hustle. Because like
Yeah,
some motherfuckers won't figure that out until later. You feel me? And if you
later.
can't even figure out the life and the hustle and to separate the two, sometimes
Yeah,
you can't figure out who really love you and who got your back compared to. Because some niggas is really good magicians
actor.
and shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Acting and they even know how to. You know what I'm saying?
mhm.
Be tricky and shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So.
Nah, man.
Sometimes for them niggas that can't figure that out, they can't figure that out. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? So
nah. 2 years ago, I went to Chicago, taking pictures downtown, posting it, and I'm like, "Yo, you supposed to be my bro? Like, what's up?" And it was like they didn't even like it, and I'm like, "Did you see that I went to Chicago?" And it's like, "Yeah, I seen that," and I'm like, "The fuck?" And that made me think like because I have the opportunity to do what I want to do, you're not gonna, be proud of me. You're not gonna be like the next time you go out there, yo, bring me, because you know how I am. I'll be like,
yeah,
I'll bring you. But it's like people wait, they wait and wait, and it's like they're not there for the ride. They just waiting for the end so they can be like, yo, let me get something. And I don't
oh
I don't
well,
understand that. And that's one thing you taught me. Everybody ain't for you. And
no.
that's the sad part.
And they go act like it. And it's so fucked up is because generally the people that's just a down motherfucker, like a cool a real person. Those are the people that get taken advantage of. And
Right.
I mean, you know, me to witness with you, it's like you're a good dude. Like, you know what I'm saying? Even though the odd things you've been to, I mean, and you definitely ain't done, but you're a giving kind person when you know what I mean, like you give respect when you know it's time to give respect. You know what I'm
But
saying? Like
exactly.
you don't let
Yeah.
nobody disrespect you. But at the end of the day, it's like some people see like they get in, they get that little spot, and they get
Yeah.
that respect and that love and that, you know what I'm saying, that support,
Mhm.
and they just try to milk it. You know what I'm saying?
Milk it. Yeah. Mhm.
Instead of being like, yo, like you were saying earlier, it's like, damn, like, you know what I'm saying? They looked out for me, they checked in on me, they gave
Yeah.
me some bread, or you know what I'm saying,
Hmm.
they did something for me. What can I do in return to get to
Yeah.
this person? You know what I mean? So they
Hmm.
don't feel like, you know what I'm saying, it's one-sided, or they don't feel like I didn't appreciate it and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? And it's a lot of people that just don't understand that shit, and they take advantage, you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So
Hmm.
and sometimes I didn't see it where in the beginning it's genuine, you know what I'm saying? But now that a nigga kind of, you know what I mean, surpassed
Yeah.
their level, or I'm not on their level no more, and I'm elevating.
Yeah.
That's when the hate come in.
Yeah.
You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? And
Yeah.
like, damn, like he couldn't go to Chaco. We was pretty much when we was broke. together, it was
Yes.
all good. But then
Good.
when my
All good.
brother started to hustle and started to see what he really wanted, found himself and started doing this thing, now I felt the type of way because it shows not only that he's moving up, but that I ain't doing shit with my life. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Right. Yes.
So now they fucking getting mad and hating and shit. Like, what you hating on me for? Like, I'm trying to set the blueprint to show you you can do it. You know what I'm saying? But they don't
Right.
see it like that. They see it like, oh, he stunting and he doing this, he doing. No, I ain't stunting, homie. It's just like I'm living life. That's what we supposed to be doing, going on
Exactly.
trips and taking our family and taking care of our kids. But
Yes.
you know what I'm saying? Some niggas think it's a I'm trying to style on you or something.
Yeah.
Like,
Like
no,
nah.
fool.
Yeah. Trying to style on me. Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
You know.
And you be like, nigga,
Okay.
I'm just a styly nigga. I can't help
Exactly. You know.
it.
I don't
Like, oh
hate. You know.
God.
Just me. You know.
Yeah, that
So
part.
we're speaking on life. Do you believe life imitates the hustle?
Um, I believe hustle imitates the life.
Let's speak for
Um,
that.
um, because the life is always because life is life, right? Life
Right.
is we're supposed to have good things, we're supposed to have happy times, we're supposed to have, you know what I'm saying, material things, love, you know what I'm saying, bonding, you know what I'm
Mhm.
saying, time. But because whatever hustle we into, that hustle is supposed to get us to that life. And usually we thinking that that hustle is supposed to get to us that life faster. You know what I'm saying? So I would
Right.
say hustle imitates life. Yeah, the hustle is going to imitate it because the life is what we really want. That
Mhm.
life that we thinking about. You know what I'm saying? Because if we already had that, we wouldn't need a hustle. You know what I'm saying? There would be no point of the hustle because that's what we're trying to get. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
um, yeah, like some people they only using they only like I kind of like how you were saying it was like I seen that I wanted the family and I wanted this things. So you're gonna use that hustle just to kind of get you to that
Yeah.
point. But once you to that point, you like shit. I don't really need to. I'm not going to use that hustle. I should say. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna use other hustles, legal hustles, or business hustles, or just hustling to go back and forth to work. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, the hustle is supposed to just get you to life. So I would say the opposite.
Okay. For me, I would agree with you, but I will also say life imitates the hustle depending on who you are because there's some people that could see somebody that's supposedly in their mind winning, and then
Mm.
you're gonna listen to everything they do or everything they said they did to get to where they're at in life, and then you're gonna try to mimic it, but they don't tell you that like the ups and downs. They just tell you this is what I did, then I got to the money, now I'm living life, you know. So that's why I say it depends. Like life can imitate the hustle.
But then, but then once you figure out the shit
Yeah,
that they did and had to go
right,
through,
right,
that's when
exactly,
you'll be like, well, nah, I'll probably switch it up and go do this one.
right.
You know what I'm saying? So that's why I kind
So
of, kind of switch
it's
it up.
funny that you say that because it's like I'll say like my third year away from home, people was like, "You wouldn't be nothing without the Marine Corps," and I'm like, "There go that hate," you know. But I was like, "No, they didn't say the Marine Corps. They said I wouldn't be nothing without the Army," and I was like, "Oh, I didn't even go to the Army, so why are you saying I wouldn't be nothing without the Army?" Like, stupid. And that's why I was like, I don't listen to what people say because they don't know what I had to go through or put up with just so I can get my benefits, you know, keep my rank when I get out. Because there's a lot of
Yeah,
people that left home, came back home after the military, druggies, beat their women
man,
up,
ain't got
molest kids
nothing.
like crazy, like became racist out of nowhere because some black dude smashed their girl. Like, you know, that's what
Right.
I went through. So I'm
Oh
like,
God.
you
But
know,
that's what that. But like you said though, like people could make opinions and comments about something,
hmm
but it does take that person, you know what I'm saying, to go through them things because I mean you can use the military, you can use drug dealing, you can use
yeah,
pimping, you can use scheming, scamming, whatever people flocking, whatever people be doing,
yes,
but you had to get in that life, you had to be the best at that, so you know what I'm
yep,
saying,
hmm
for anything and any of those or any other hustles, they have ups and downs, man. Like people don't
right,
understand. They only see, like you said, they only see the glitz and glamour. They only see when you up. They only see the good side of it. but they don't
Right.
know the bad side of it. You know what I'm saying?
Nope.
And for somebody to say, if it wasn't for that, it's like, nigga, you got to get into this and be good at this just to even
Yeah.
go through. You know what I'm saying? So
Hmm.
because if it was so easy, they would have been doing it. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
exactly.
So it's like, okay, you could say if it wasn't for it, but if it wasn't for me deciding I'm going to do that, if it wasn't
Right.
me for being dedicated and not
Hmm.
just quitting, and because
Exactly.
some people they do they forward and they gone, or they
Yeah.
do, you know what I'm saying? They do uh 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 6 months of hustling in the streets and they
Yeah.
can't handle it no
You
more, and
can't
they
handle it. Yeah.
now they behind some desks, or you listen to
Hmm.
somebody tell them what to do. They
What to
want to do a
do?
regular
Yeah.
job, you know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
So it's just like everything ain't for everybody, but don't knock my hustle, like, you know what I'm
Exactly. Right.
saying?
Exactly.
Because my hustle still feeding me, and it made me have fund my other hustles. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Exactly.
Which,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? So
But they
it's like,
don't know. You know.
hell no, that's the ultimate hating. It's like telling somebody if it wasn't for, or if you didn't have, you wouldn't have, if you didn't do that, you wouldn't have this. And we were like, nigga, of
Exactly.
course, that's why I did it. Like,
You're right. Exactly.
like,
I wanted
that's the whole
something.
point.
Exactly.
That's the
But
whole point.
they don't understand. It's just hands out begging. You know.
Yeah, because they comparing.
Yep.
That's why he got that. Because, but I wouldn't do that.
Yeah.
Well, then
Mhm.
don't worry about what I'm doing. You
Yeah.
know what I'm
So
saying?
man, I got even told that I switched up. I'm white now, and I'm like, I'm white because I'm better in my life and I know what I want and what
Yeah,
you want for yourself. That is not what I want. So that makes me another, another race. Like, come on. And it's funny that they equate success with whiteness instead of saying I'm black and successful. I'm proud of you. You know.
mhm.
So
Yeah,
it's crazy.
because you know how to switch it up. That's the point. I mean, I got that too. Like, okay, they because niggas, and let's just be honest, niggas use nigga shit in every situation. You don't
Everything.
know how to adapt, and
Hmm.
but you, because you have, you know what I'm saying, businesses, and you're in a professional atmospheres and environments, that you can't use that mentality for
Yeah.
everything. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And then especially too because you know what I'm saying. Let's be honest. You know what I'm saying. You black and you a big dude. You feel me?
Yeah.
So they
Mhm.
already automatically, you know what I'm saying,
Yeah.
they're gonna judge. But because you can be in these atmospheres and have that demographic or that already, you know what I'm saying, somebody's already gonna judge you off of that.
Right.
And for you to be still in those environments
Hmm.
lets you know something. It's like, okay, well, you want to call me white, but where's but whatever you're doing, where's it getting you? Like, you
Yeah.
know what I'm saying?
Exactly. Right.
Because
Exactly.
I'm getting indoors, homie,
Hmm. Yeah.
and most black folks can't get in these type of doors. And if
Yeah.
they do, it's because they're using the same tactics I'm using. I'm not using my street
Exactly.
behavior.
Hmm.
I might use my mentality of certain things, but the behavior I don't have to use. Like, you know what I'm
Right.
saying? I don't have to a bogart everything. I don't have to manhandle everything. You know what I'm saying? I
Hmm.
come in there with my intelligence, and I know how to speak. I know how to carry myself. That's going to get me through another door. You know what I'm saying? And people don't
Exactly.
see that shit.
They don't see that.
Hell no.
Uh,
I know. So the one question is, what have life and hustle are two different things you need to figure out in order to level up. What happens if you don't figure them out, and that's the only, and you only grasp on? We already talked about that, right?
yeah, we already did that.
Okay,
We want
so
to should hit the last question.
there's a blank canvas in front of you. Next to you is stuff you can use to paint.
Mhm.
Tell me, what would you finish? What would you finish your painting look like if you were to imitate the life and the hustle?
So imitate life and hustle. What my canvas will look like. I
Yeah,
would say it will be all dark, but in the middle it will be like light radiating, and it'll be my brother behind me with his hand on my back, on my shoulder, and I was sitting down, and it basically represents him because he was the only one that believed in me and told me to leave. And I always say that if it wasn't for him, I'd probably be dead, and he was the catalyst for me leaving and bettering my life. So that's what my canvas will look like. My painting. What about you?
um, never really thought about it like that, but if I had to think about it, I had to come up with with an answer.
Go
It'd
ahead,
probably
think
be
about it.
like, it'd
You got a
probably be
sip on
like,
something?
shit. Let me see that. Nah, it'd probably be like on some like like when like have you seen what's that shit I Am Legend?
Yes.
It'll probably be like some shit like that, right? Where everything is like we all zombies, like we all dead, you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
And it's just showing like me, like, you know what I'm saying? When I did decide to wake up and decide to be some now, like I'm changing to be alive, like, you know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, cause it was just like everything was dead. We had no hopes, we had no dreams, we like
Right.
no aspirations, we had no future. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? They couldn't see nothing besides what I seen. Like, you know what I'm saying? Everything was dead. Like everything was just like non-existent.
Yeah.
And to see that when I did change over and seeing other people transition, you know what I'm saying? It was just like I was alive. Like, you know what I
Right.
mean? Like now I feel alive. Like I see things. I see other people, like, you know what I mean? Even running into people like you and like, you know what I'm saying? And it's just like, damn, like these people are alive, they vibrant, they, you know what I'm saying, colors, like, you know what I'm saying? Like everything was just dead and dark, you know what I'm saying? So I would say it'll be something like that, like when I'm Legend, just like, you know what I'm saying, we come out, it's gonna be daytime type shit.
Yeah.
Because when niggas was doing their thing, we more was attracted to the nightlife, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Exactly.
everything was just like some zombie shit, like, you know what I'm saying? So to now a living being and living, like, see sun, flowers, people
Right.
smiling type
Mm-hmm.
shit. So yeah, kind of dark, but like,
Yeah,
you
hey, I
know.
like that. Okay, I know that was the last few this. You said that your canvas will look like I Am Legend, and that now that you got a chance to be alive, right?
Mhm.
What does alive mean to you? What does it feel like?
It feels, first of all, happiness, smiling,
Okay.
family, love, uh, uh, be able to be affectionate or being to be vulnerable, um, seeing beyond what I see, like, you know what I mean, um, uh, 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 just abundance,
Okay.
God or spirituality. Um, like I said, colors, a lot of bright shit. Like I didn't wear bright colors at one point in time. I didn't wear colors like that anyway. Everything I wore was dark, like, you know what I'm saying, black, like, you know what I'm saying, because I never knew if I needed to, you know what I mean, because, you know what I mean,
Yeah.
can't catch a
Of
nigga
course.
in dark colors
Yeah.
at night, you know what I'm
Mhm.
saying, because everything we
Yeah.
did was just like a lot of positive, like, you know what I'm saying, like I can go out today and I could probably have nothing, or I probably be going through something where it's like, damn, I'm short on my rent and I get somebody that want to help, or I'll get like a job to do, like, you know what I'm saying, or, you know what I'm saying, a client that want to, you know what I'm saying, a new client or whatever. It's just like in a nutshell, if I had to put it in one word, would just be happiness. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Happiness, because I was gonna lie, it wasn't happy. Like I,
Yeah.
you
No, I
know,
feel
couldn't
you.
smile like that. Couldn't even appreciate anything. Like, you know what I'm saying? So,
Right.
what about you though? What
So for
is your
me, alive, like I always say, I'm just not learning how to be happy, how to be regular. Because, like you say, darkness. So being alive is like the emotions, the feelings, like the peace, the happiness, just waking up knowing that you accomplished something. Even if like you don't leave the house, the fact that you can wake up, you're alive. There's a lot of people that they dread waking up the next day. But for me, it's like I want to make tomorrow better than today, and then I want to make the next day better than tomorrow. And I
mm-hmm,
always live in the future because I'm always planning. And without me, like how you say, without me waking up and seeing that my surroundings around the things around me, the surroundings, it wasn't good for me. It wasn't meant for me, and I always felt like the cards that was dealt to me or the life that was given to me by God, that wasn't in my life. But the cards that was dealt, I want to play it right until I figure things out. And I can honestly say, like, I love living. I love being alive. I love that feeling. And the people that you meet on your journey, the ones that leave, okay, cool. But the ones that stay, they meant to stay. And like my My Cuban sister, she used to always say people come for a season, but the ones that remain, they supposed to be in a chapter in your story, your life story. And I'm glad that the people that's still in my life, they mean something. They play a part in my life, and that's to me that means being alive.
Oh God, it's crazy. Like I kind of like we had mentioned it a little before we started the podcast, but for the people that is watching, it's like that shit is big, homie. And for me, I don't have a lot of people. Like, you know what I'm saying? I got my selective few. You feel me? And you definitely one of them. Uh, it was just crazy because I was talking to my baby mom and shit the other day. I was just kind of like shit was just bugging me. You know what I'm saying? And I was just like, and that's just how I am. I'm a thinker and shit. But it's just shit was just bugging me because I was feeling like I'm not doing what I need to do. You know what I'm saying? And you had hit me off with a text. It was like probably like a day before that, and was just like, yo, like you need to get back on your shit type shit. You know what I'm saying? In a nutshell. And I've been feeling like that. You know what I'm saying? But it was just the confirmation of, you know what I mean? But damn, my nigga just hit me on just like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and some people probably would take it as shade or just like nigga, you know what I'm saying? Like type shit. But I took it as like you ain't doing what you know what I'm saying? You ain't doing your calling, man. You ain't I know you, so I know what you capable of
Yeah.
doing. And I
Hmm.
was like, yo, like I ain't, and I've already been feeling like that. So it was just a good thing. Like you said, people come in your life for certain things, and it was just like a wake up call. Like, bro, like if he can see it, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Hmm.
it's confirmation type shit. You know what I mean?
Of course, yeah.
And for people that have that kind of support system or have people in their life. Um, to be able to even recognize something like that is big. So yeah, the people come in your life and the people go out of your life, but the people that is there, that's all you need. You know what I'm saying? Like, and they gonna make shit
You need
better for you.
exactly,
Yeah, definitely. I
exactly.
appreciate
So
that,
let's close
and
this out,
thank you for
bro.
that. Hey man,
Appreciate you. It's all love.
yeah, shit since day one. You know what I'm
Exactly.
saying? But to the millions and the millions that's out there, the hustlers, man, we're gonna close it
Right.
out. You know what I'm saying? To prosperity, to love, and to keep on grinding in your hustle, man. Cheers.
Cheers.